The opposite of shooting hard. Instead, we shoot softly, and I ask you to say nice things about some of your contemporaries. And we'll start with the guy you're facing on Sunday. How about Roman Reigns?
Yeah. So look, I've always admired Roman a lot for a lot of reasons. Um, to me, no matter the amount of success he achieved and how he clearly was the face of this company, he was always just one of the boys. He never had his own locker room like other people would. And I'm talking like, you can pretty much peg who has their own locker room when they come around, and those are the guys that come once in a blue moon. But there were guys on our roster that are there every day that had their own locker room, and it just blew my mind. But Roman was never one of those guys. Um, so now the situation's different, obviously, because of the entire process and whatnot. I'm not sure if he'd still have his own locker room at this, or he'd still be in our locker room at this point. But that's something I always admired about him is he stayed down to earth, even though uh, some other people might not have been as down to earth as he was in his position. And whether people like to admit it or not, and I know for a long time, people are coming around to it finally, but for a long time, people would just refuse to accept that he's a pretty talented professional wrestler. So that's nice. But
Yeah, it's very nice.
you know, he'll
Uh,
hurt me and I'll hurt him on Sunday. So we'll see if we did this interview on Monday, the answers might be different. Who knows?
a guy that you did hurt and vice versa throughout the fall. Alistair Black. We haven't seen him lately, but I mean, you guys had some wars.
Yeah, he's a very creative guy, really imaginative and very passionate as well about his own personality and his own image, his own character, whatever you want to call it, and the way he's portrayed. Um, and that's something you got to do, and you got to be accountable for yourself sometimes, because it's easy to get kind of lost in the shuffle. And that might have happened to him over the last year, but I'm sure he'll bounce back because he's, like I said, he's too to me anyway, from the little I've interacted with him, he seems too passionate to just kind of fall by the wayside here.
A guy that we saw you on Ride Along with, Apollo Cruz. He had quite the year.
Yeah, I love Apollo, man. He's a great guy. He's got his family that he loves. Outside of the ring, he's all about his family. I'm a lot like that. So is Ali, which is why I actually asked, when they asked me to do Ride Along, they wanted me to do it with Sammy. And I'm like, we've already done one, me and Sammy. And like, it's not, people like won't be entertained by me and Sammy the way you think they will be, because we've known each other too long. It's not the same. So I asked for Ali and Cruz to be in it, and they're like, yeah, sure. And it was just a bunch of wrestling dads driving around in LA, and that was really enjoyable. But yeah, I love Apollo, another extremely talented guy. And I had a little short stint as his partner slash on-screen buddy, but it was just kind of reflecting of our relationship behind the scenes. He's a great guy, and I'd love to see him get to do more. He was U.S. champion for a little bit. That
Yeah.
was cool, but God, that's just one of the many things he could accomplish and do very well. Do very well with.